What's going on, you guys? So check it right. The MTV based Hottest MCs just wrapped up yesterday, and man, where do I even begin? Now, the show was hosted by Thato Coke once again, and I must say he really kills it as a mediator, considering that he's able to step in and bring everyone back once the conversation starts to get heated. So he killed his role, and hopefully MTV continues to keep him as a mediator / presenter for the show. Now, the show consisted of 6 panelists who are individuals within the industry. We had my nigga French Fry in the cut. We had Uncle Party Time, another nigga by the name of Kai Easy, a lady by the name of Fifth La. We had Mars Ambrioso, and another lady named Misa Narrates. Now, 4 out of the 6 panelists, I knew nothing about them. I'm familiar with Uncle Party Time, considering that he's a well-established DJ in the game. Shout out to French Fry, he's the new wave architect, and he's really trying to put on for some of the upcoming niggas in the game. So mad respect to him. Now, from my point of view, these 2 niggas seem like they were the only ones who knew what they were talking about in terms of what happened in the game in the last 12 months. The other 4 panelists seemed clueless, and I mean that with no disrespect. It just seemed like they wanted to push certain artists who really hadn't done anything in the last year, which tells me that there was a hidden agenda and that they were probably connected to those artists in some way. But with that said, the final list they came up with was trash in my opinion. I mean, they didn't even bother trying to stick to the criteria they gave out, which was bars, impact, sales, and X Factor. But anyways, the final list they came up with was Blackie at number 1, KO at number 2, Nasty C at number 3, McLaren Doughboy at number 4, A-Reece at number 5, 25K at number 6, MT at number 7, Pretty Ugly at number 8, Big Zulu at number 9, and Lucas Raps at number 10. Now, I'm just wondering to myself as to how Lucas Raps, Big Zulu, MT, and 25K made it onto the list, because I don't feel as if they did enough this year. Now, I'm not hating or anything, but I just feel as if they were way more deserving artists who should have been included instead of them. Niggas like Tyson, Sabatelli, Thato Soul, Touchline, and even Zulu Mecca, like they all put in that work, and for it to get overlooked by individuals who have no clue as to what's been happening in the game and what's been happening in the streets, well, that's just disrespectful. But anyways, just going down the list, right? I'm not mad at Blackie being number 1. I mean, he really put in that work by giving us 2 projects with the For Love EP and The Formula. He had countless of features, as well as countless of visuals, not to mention the Before Now tour. So he deserves that spot. KO at number 2 is just crazy in my eyes. He literally dropped a non-hip-hop song, and that warrants him to be number 2. Come on, guys. I mean, if we're keeping it all the way honest, he wouldn't even be on the list if it wasn't for Set Day dropping on SR3, considering that the album isn't doing as good compared to the single. But maybe I'm wrong. I just don't think number 2 should be awarded to him. With Nasty at number 3, I'm not mad at the position either. I mean, he had the Iverson Army Tour, which led up to the Iverson Army Tour mixtape, and he managed to collaborate with Call of Duty, which is a big deal. So number 3 is a well-deserved spot for him. At number 4, we have McLaren. Now, he does deserve to be on the list, but I don't think he deserved that spot, and I say this respectfully. I know he dropped arguably the hardest rap verse on Ever Ride, which is a big deal, but his own very album, Diaspora, while it didn't really have that much of an impact, despite it being a really good album, he definitely has the bars and the X Factor, but the 4th spot for him is a bit high for me in my opinion. With Reese at number 5, well, I just find it disrespectful in my eyes. I mean, Reese gave us The Burning Tree, which charted in the top 10 Apple Music hip-hop charts for weeks on end. He gave us Couldn't Have Said It Better Part 3, which had the streets buzzing for months on end in anticipation for his next project, which was Deadlines, and it has managed to stay charting for weeks as well. We had the launch for his own record label, Revenge Club Records, and he gave us a couple of features as well as committing to dropping visuals and being outside for a whole lot more. So he has the bars, he has the sales and streams, he definitely has that X Factor, and he's definitely impactful. So my thing is this, right? How is he at number 5? Because he ticks all the boxes. Considering that I'm happy with Blackie at number 1, I think Reese deserves the 2nd spot. But anyways, in regards to the rest of the list, as I said before, I don't think 25K should be on there. Granted, he did hop onto a few features. I don't think that warrants him to be on the list. The same can be said for MT. He just had a few features throughout the year, but I don't think he's worthy of being on the list. Pretty Ugly deserves to be there, considering that he dropped a really dope mixtape with Mud, and he was really rapping on there. Now, even though he did lose the boxing match to Casper, I'm sure it still brought some attention to his music, allowing him to tick the boxes for some of the criteria they laid out, so he definitely deserves to be there. In regards to Big Zulu, he did nothing this year besides dropping 150 bars, which was only impactful to niggas who barely rap anymore. Honestly, he doesn't deserve to be on the list, but I guess connections and gatekeeping allow this nigga to be mentioned in conversations he has no business being a part of. With Lucas, he dropped Location Hurting 2.0, where he was rapping at a better level, but it had zero impact and buzz. The deluxe for 031 to the world was mid once again, and that's me putting it lightly. He honestly wasn't supposed to be on the list, but maybe you guys disagree. Now, with all that said, guys, I think the list should have gone as follows, with Blackie at number 1, A-Reece at number 2, Nasty C at number 3, Thato Sol at number 4, considering that he was a part of the hottest hip-hop record this year with Never Ride, as well as also dropping one of the best rap albums this year with Life as Gangsta. Now at number 5, I have Tyson Sebatelli, considering that he had the best rollout this year for his album, which was Home, and the music really backed it up. This nigga put so much attention and effort to detail, so he definitely deserves to be on the list. At number 6, I've got McLaren Dope Boy. At number 7, I've got Pretty Ugly. At number 8, I've got Touchline, considering that he dropped 2 really dope projects, with Soon 2 being an album, and he also dropped an EP with Before I Say More. Now, he may not have the same impact in sales like the other artists, but he's definitely got the bars and the X factor to hang with the best of them, so he deserves to be there. At number 9, I've got J Jody, because he's another rapper who put in that work with countless of features and dropped one of the best mixtapes this year with Sunset Stories, so he deserves a spot on the list. At number 10, I would have Zulu Mecca, considering that she's the only female rapper rapping at an elite level. I mean, her album and EP that dropped this year were both really dope, so in my opinion, she has to be on the list. In regards to KO, I'll give him an honorable mention only because he's been consistent in regards to his work ethic. Now, with all that said, guys, I'm curious to know your thoughts on the list. What would you have changed in terms of placements or actual rappers themselves? Comment down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found the content dope, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's on to the next one. Peace.